Coach Jamie here at Crew Fit, and this week we've been focusing on elbows. So I'm going to go through the 6 kind of elbows that we throw here, and they can be done with either our lead hand or our rear hand. Again, if I'm an orthodox fighter, that lead is going to be my left, rear is going to be my right. If I'm a southpaw, those switch, right? But bottom line is these 6 elbows, they can be thrown from our lead hand or our rear hand at any time. So the first one is a spear elbow. So a spear elbow is going to come straight out and basically just try to spear or pierce our opponent right through their guard. And again, it can be done lead or rear elbow. So spearing straight out. Second type of elbow that we throw is kind of 2 different variations, but I'm gonna make them kind of in the same category as elbow number 2 here, and that is a diagonal elbow or a horizontal elbow. All right, so a horizontal elbow is exactly that. It comes horizontally, all right, and a diagonal elbow is going to come diagonally. There's different reasons why we would use those, right? The downfall to a horizontal elbow is sometimes that horizontal elbow will come and it'll get caught on my guard and the elbow won't actually reach our target. And that's why a lot of times people will use that diagonal elbow, because it comes straight down through the guard, more effectively causing damage, right? But there are times, depending on where I am in relation to my opponent, that horizontal elbow might swing around and clip the ear or inside in front of the ear, top of the head, and be able to do that damage that we want it to do. So elbow 2 is diagonal or horizontal, all right? It's basically coming from the outside or from the top and making contact with our opponent. Elbow number 3 is an up elbow, all right? Similar to an uppercut punch. We're coming up from the bottom to strike below our opponent's face. And I'm gonna think about taking my thumbs over the top of my shoulders and almost touching my shoulder blades in the rear. All right, and I extend, and again, causing that elbow to catch right up on the bottom. Again, lead or rear can be done with the up elbow. Elbow number 4 is the back elbow, and sometimes I refer to it as the back up elbow because it helps people understand, again, the trajectory or the angle at which we're gonna strike our opponent. So the back elbow, elbow number 4, with my lead, I drop my hand down, and again, I wanna keep my shoulder high to kind of protect my face. If I just drop my hand down and my head is all up, I'm probably gonna get punched in my mouth, or if I'm in elbow range, that means I'm in elbow range to get hit with an elbow from my opponent. So I wanna make sure that I'm playing a little defense as I drop that hand down. I'm stepping in to cover that ground, and then I'm gonna come up from the bottom. So this is elbow number 4, a back elbow. All right, if I do it from the rear, I'm gonna reach across my lead hip and then pull it up from the bottom. So it's kind of like, sometimes I say like I'm starting a lawnmower or you're taking something out of your pocket, right? But it's coming up from the bottom. It's a very sneaky elbow, all right? Elbow number 5 is the spinning elbow. Everybody loves a spinning elbow, all right? But there's a lot to do, a lot of mechanics that you have to do when you do a spinning elbow. So if I'm going to throw my rear elbow, I'm actually going to take my lead leg is going to be the one that's going to move. So I'm going to take my lead leg offline, and really that lead leg should step outside of my opponent's lead foot. All right, so it would step offline, and then I'm going to pivot and my elbow is going to come back. There's different angles, right? I could come from the side like a horizontal. I could come from the top like more of a shark fin elbow. So there's ways to kind of change the trajectory or the path of that elbow as I spin. But the big thing about the spinning elbow is I don't want to move my back foot. This is a mistake that a lot of people make. They step here and then they pick this back foot up when they throw that elbow. But the problem with that is it changes distance. It also pushes my elbow offline. Right? If I'm here, this elbow is coming straight in line, right where your face is, right? But if I step like that, now all of a sudden it's offline slightly, and I'm probably gonna end up getting you more with the back of my arm because I got too close and I was offline. If I'm gonna throw my lead spinning elbow, I'm gonna step through with my back foot across my body. Same thing, I'm not gonna pick up my back leg, but instead I'm gonna pivot into that elbow. All right, so again, that I step across my body, the rear leg, lead spinning elbow. The last elbow that we do, elbow number 6. There are again 2 kind of variations, but a very, very similar elbow. So we call this either a tomahawk or a 12-6. 12-6 has commonly been kind of prohibited here in the States. but some promotions will allow 12-6 elbows. So the tomahawk was kind of, it's a variation of it. But they both do the same thing. They go high and they come down, crashing on our opponent. So tomahawk has a little bit more of kind of a wind up. I'm gonna kind of wind it up and then drop it down. And I can either hit with the inside here, or again, trying to kind of come down on the tip of the elbow. 12-6 is just straight up, boom, straight down, which again, as I said, has been prohibited in many organizations, but there are some that allow it. So again, from the rear, whether I'm tomahawking and kind of coming around into it, or I'm just straight up or down, I can do it again from the lead, boom, up and down, or tomahawking kind of around, totally fine. You can also make those Superman style, meaning I'm gonna jump in the air, which is commonly how you see them. So if I'm throwing my rear, I'm gonna jump off that lead leg, boom, and drop that down onto my opponent. And then if I were gonna do my lead elbow into that, I'm probably gonna change my stance and jump off that rear foot from the lead position into that tomahawk or that 12-6 elbow. So I hope you guys enjoyed learning the 6 elbows that we throw here at CrewFit: spear elbow, diagonal or horizontal elbow, up elbow, back elbow, spinning elbow, and then the tomahawk or the 12-6 elbow.